Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Weekly Mini. I'm Carolyn, your host for this bite-sized workshop on the hottest acro topics. You can reference all of our previous weekly minis and more amazing content on our Acrobatic Arts channel on YouTube. Check the comments for that link. If you have any questions while we're live, drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer those for you at the end of the presentation. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing about today's topic, be a friend and click the share button on this post right now and let them know we're here. Today, we are so fortunate to have acrobatic arts master trainer, teacher, Jill Ford. Well, she's both of those things, who will share with us her top 5 drills for back handsprings. Jill is no stranger to our weekly minis. She is a course conductor and examiner for acrobatic arts. She has her own studio, Supernova Acro Club in Edmonton, Alberta, specializing in, guess what? Acrobatics, that's right. And she has over 25 years teaching experience. Jill continues to develop and train young dancers by sharing her knowledge and passion of acrobatics. And we are so lucky to have her live in her home studio in Edmonton, Alberta. Good morning, Jill.
Unmute.
You're there. Yes.
Yeah, I'm there. I was muted.
How is everyone this morning?
We're great.
Good. And you have some guests with you?
We do. Right here, the one on the left here, or your right, my whatever, is Molly. Give it away. And Sophie on the other side.
Good morning, Molly and Sophie. We're thrilled to have you here. Jill, we're thrilled to have you here, and I won't take up too much time because I know it seems right now, we were talking before we started, there's a lot of energy around back handsprings right now. I know in our certified Facebook group with our certified teaching community, there's been some questions recently about progressions, and I think there was some other people tagging other people, so that tells me that this is a hot topic. I know you've got some drills to share today.
Yes. So what I'm going to basically do today is give you basic drills that you can take and do right in with your, incorporate into your acro class from little guys 8 all the way up, like your littlest ones. So if they're first learning a back handspring, these are my favorite drills. These aren't the only drills you need to have your back handspring, but I've just picked a couple, 1 or 2 from each section of the back handspring. So the 3 key elements of our back handspring is the sit. That's the first one when we sit back. So I'm just going to show you with Molly, just so you can get a visual, and then we'll take you through some awesome little drills that I have really seen great success with my students. So the first part of the back handspring is just the sit. So we're going to sit. Okay. There's the first half. The next half is the flying phase. So I'm going to use my muscles this morning and just show you on Molly. So here's the flying phase here. Okay. And our nice Superman. Then we have the shoulder blocking here and then out of the back handspring. Okay, so there's your steps: sit, flying, shoulder blocking. So I'm going to show you a few awesome little drills to do for each of those things, so you have really good back handsprings. Okay, so you don't need a lot of mats. You don't need a lot of equipment. I just use my fold-up Velcro mats. If you have a big cheese, those are great when you're first learning them to spot them. But none of the drills today I'm going to show you need anything other than, voila, a mat. So maybe some blocks too. I'm going to show you a little acro hack for the sitting drill that I've come up with. Maybe you've seen it before, but I thought I figured it out, but it's probably out there somewhere. But we're going to first start with the sit. So if you've taken the aerial back handspring workshop with Acrobatic Arts, we show you the sit with a partner. Sometimes you want to get more stations done and maybe some of your kids aren't well matched to be a partner if they're younger or something. So just to get that body, that shaping done for the sit, we're going to show you on the wall. So we're going to get the girls to just do a wall sit. So just do your, oh, there it goes. Whoopsies. Okay. So let's do wall sit. One of you here and one of you there. Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to show you your usual wall sit that we do in acrobatic arts. Okay, so putting your feet out a little bit, Molly. Okay, so now we're going to show you, this is just something that they can feel their bodies with. This is the sit for the back handspring. So they're going to lift up. They're going to be not on a 90-degree angle with their legs. So now she's going to be up and she's going to curl her hips off the wall to create a hollow position. She's going to squeeze her arms and squeeze and sit there and kind of feel this little hollow position that you need for the sit. Okay, rest. Okay, so they've got that feeling. Now we're going to do the sit and get them going back. So we can do this, come here, Molly, with a partner, okay? Feet together, the one you've probably seen many times on our YouTube channel or on our courses that if you've taken them to, is the sit. So we're going to sit, I'm going to hold her, she's going to sit and show that nice hollow. And again, sit, that a girl. So not too much rounding in here, more like through into the ribs. But we really want to sit and not let our heels pop off. So if we don't have a well-matched partner, you want to get this going, we're going to take this same drill, but we're going to use a mat on the wall. So Sophie's going to come a little bit further away. Sometimes you have to have someone to hold this. This is actually a longer size mat, so it's a little bit taller mat than my usual mats here. So I'm going to show you a little hack with the shorter one if you have a taller dancer, but we're going to show you first on this drill. So she's going to just sit back and she's going to take her shoulders into the mat, into the wall. Go, sit. Good girl. And again. And sit. Grab the blocks. And sit. Good girl. Okay, so that's just the first part, the sit. We're going to show you now, if you have just the regular size mat, this is the standard mat that most of us have. It obviously isn't tall enough. If they do this, they're going to be hitting the wall because they're, So we're going to just throw some yoga blocks underneath the stack. Go ahead. Perfect. And it makes it a little bit taller. I think we have to go the other way, Molly, like up higher. Yeah, there you go. This way. There we go. That's it. Boom. Now we've got it tall enough for Molly to do it as well with the shorter mat. So she's going to come away. She's going to still do the sit into the stack. Sometimes you have to hold this. It might go. So you just have a little partner going, holding it. Go, sit. Boom. Good girl. And come back up. Okay, so we really want to get them sitting back, not taking their body forward. It really makes them sit back because they've got to get to the stack. Okay, so they've got that sit. Now we're just going to add one more dimension, and we're going to sit, and then we're going to get our legs straight and get into that nice hollow position. Ready? So come off the mat. Go. Sit. Hop. Good girl. Again. Go. Sit. Hop. You want to give it a go? Go. Sit. Okay, so did you see Molly how she sat this? So we want to X that. We want to make sure our dancers are sitting back. It's a little scary at first. And see how she's arching here? We don't want that either. So I'm just going to help her here. She's going to sit back and then she's going to come back this way. Good girl. Okay, so maybe we're a little bit far. Okay, ready, go. Sit, pop. That's better. Okay, so just fixing those body shaping and getting them to watch themselves in the mirror is really important on that. So that's a really good sit drill that you can do. Now we're just going to come to the mat and make sure they really know what hollow is. So let's go hollow, you guys. Show a nice hollow position. Yeah, come let's way forward a bit. Okay, so we're going to make sure, we're going to slowly go into it. Now, see how Molly's arms are up? We're going to get her arms to go lower. We want to make sure our arms are a little here, right here, okay, back here, and our legs are being pulled. No daylight in their back is a real must, and this is an awesome ab exercise. Okay, so she's got to get her shoulders up. There you go. So there's no weight there. Good girl. Rest. Okay, so I always tell my dancers, feel like someone's pulling your fingers and someone's peeling your legs. So we make these long hollows, not lifting up hollows like too big. So long and a nice position with our lower back into the mat. Okay, so hollows is in the primary level, as we all know, hollow with the arms down in primary. Level 1 is here. So you're doing these right from when they're little. So by the time they're actually doing the back handspring, they've got that because it's not an easy position to get. It's one of the hardest elements in the primary one, like hands down, for them to get properly. Okay, so we're done with the sit. Those are my little sit drills with the stack, and then getting that hollow position. Okay, let's do some little jump plyometrics with that sit. And we're just going to jump in the back handspring. The scary part, of course, is the sit and the jumping backwards. A lot of dancers get really worried about that part of it. So this is a nice, fun drill, warm-up exercise. You can do right at the beginning of your class, just some sautés in first, but we're going to go backwards. Go. jump, squeezing. So I get them to squeeze their body. They've got to really squeeze into that jump. Go ahead, Molly. Squeeze. So everything's really tight. Okay, so they're going to do this lots of times. Down the mat. Then we're going to take it a little bit more. And we're going to get them jumping onto a stack backwards. All right, so you, depending on the height of your dancer, the level of your dancer, 1 stack, 2 stacks, kind of make it work for who you're teaching. Okay, again, arm squeezing. We're only squeezing those ears, squeezing our muscles. I always tell my dancers when we're in a back handspring class, you're never loose. Every muscle is tight from your fingertips all the way to your toes the entire time, the whole class. Go, squeeze, jump, and jump. Squeeze, whoop. Okay, good. It's a little tricky. We're getting a little wobbly, so we just got to get that squeezing and get them going nice and straight. And just a really good exercise because they're so used to going forward and getting their mind used to going backwards. Okay, so those are my sitting little warm-up drills and things. We're going to go on to our flying phase. So let's show them a beautiful Superman. Back handspring Superman, remember, is long and low. Can we do a level 3 Superman? Show me level 3 Superman, the regular syllabus handspring Superman. Okay, so our head is in line. We're reaching up. Our hands and our feet are level as high as we can. Now let's show the back handspring one. So we're going to look at our hands. We're going to be long and low now, squeezing our butt, squeezing everything. If I come around, I always do this to my dancer. I grab a leg. The other leg should come with it. Yes, good. Same with our hands. If I grab a hand, oh, yes, good job. I grab this, awesome. Okay, so just doing little things like that, poking at them, making sure they're squeezing. Hands-on is really important too, of course, with the back handspring, with most acro skills. So really getting them to feel that squeezing. Okay, awesome. 1, 2, down, up. It's one of my favorites. So lay on the back. The kids like this one too. I think they do. Move over. Okay. All right. So we're going to be squeezing. Before we even start this exercise, we're not in hollow. We're laying down, but we want to make sure our back. Can you guys sit with your back relaxed and lift up? Now you can see how their backs. You can see that little air pocket there. I know that they're not engaged. So now let's engage ourselves. Engage. Yes. Good. Okay. 1, 2. Then they're going to go down. Then they're going to go up and their hips are going to lift up. That's very important part of that back handspring. 1, 2, sit, and then into that flying phase up, getting those hips up. Let's rest. Good job holding that forever. Okay, ready? 1, 2, down, up. Hold, rest. 1, 2, down, up. Hold, rest. 1, 2, down, up. Awesome. Okay, so we do this over and over. That can just be a station as well when you're doing these, but I often just get them all laying on the mats and doing these together. Okay, rest for a second, girls. Okay, so that is our hips up and our flying, a nice, great one for our flying phase. You can also do this same thing to make it a little bit harder, I guess, is throwing a stack, girls, and put your feet up on the stack. And we're gonna do that same drill with your feet up on the stack. So lay on your back. 1, 2, down, up, hold, rest. 1, 2, down, lift up, higher. Okay, good, awesome. Okay, moving on to our shoulder strength. Okay, so obviously for back handspring, you have to have the arm, the shoulder strength to support your entire body, jumping, landing on nice straight arms. So we got to make sure that they have that strength before attempting the back handspring. So an awesome one besides handstands, regular handstands, of course, we have to have a really good handstand, is we're going to do our plank jump. So let's do this first in plank hops, and then we're going to do it with our handstand. So can you guys get into plank? And we're going to squeeze our tummy, and we're going to pop our arms and then come back in. Go. No. Yeah, so just your arms. So out and in. Jump. Out and in. Yeah, try not to let this go. Looking at this, a regular plank. Ready? Pop, out and in. That's it. Go. Pop, out, in. That's it. Go. Pop, pop. This one is really hard, as you can see. Go. Pop. One more. Out, in. Good. Okay, so we're starting a plank. We're going to go out, in. Out, in. Okay, rest. Getting a workout this morning. They thought it was great to miss school. I don't know. I think they're still happy to miss school. Okay, so we're going to do handstand hops, or I just call it pop, pop in the handstand, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to do that same thing we just did in plank, but in the handstand. I want you to watch the head placement. That's key. So you're going to look at their hands, and then on the second pop, their head's going to be in line. Okay, let's see if they can do a really good job for you. 1, 2. Yes, Molly, good girl. So we're going to pop our hands without bending our elbows across that mat as far as we can. And we should be able to squeeze there at the end of that straight handstand and hold. So I'm going to tell Sophie to get that second leg up a little faster. Go. 1, 2. There you go. Okay, so you notice how she's a bit arched on that second handstand? So look at Molly on the second pop. Go. 1. Look at Molly. More. Yeah, even tuck. I want to see that bun right down. One more time. One more time. Let's get it good. Ready, Soph? Yeah, one more time. You got it. Go. 1. Head in line. There you go. Good. Okay. So that's a great exercise, getting that shoulder strength up. We are going to do another great one. We're going to go handstand kick up to the wall. And let's go one dancer there and one dancer here. So on this one, we do want to be a slightly over 12 o'clock handstand. Okay, so like a 1 o'clock. So a slight arch, because that's how you're going to land your back handspring on your hands. So we're going to be in that position. Band-aids coming off. Okay. So we go, that's okay. Actually, you can go here. It's okay. Just leave the band-aid. It'll be okay. Okay, so we're going to kick up to the wall, nice and slow. I always tell my dancers, hit 12 o'clock and then slowly go to the wall so you have that control. Now, without moving their leg off, they're going to use their shoulders to just take their legs off and back on the wall. So we did 10 in a row. Off, back on. Off, back on. And yes, they can be, and when they come off, we're going to do the last one. So we're going to go 5, and then the last one, when they come off, I want their head to go in line. So let's see if Molly can do it here. Now come off. Yes. See how she got her head in line? That's awesome. So off, on, and then get that head right in line. So get them really figuring out how to use those shoulders for the blocking. Okay. Amazing. Good job, girls. Okay. Shake it out. So that is our blocking. A really great one for blocking and shoulder strength. Okay. The last one we're going to show for blocking is off the wall. So we're going to kick into a handstand on a stack. So again, you can stack up 2 stacks. If you have these shorter ones, I often use 2. This long one is a 5 panel. So 5 is probably 2 5s is too high. But if you have a 4 panel, 8 is like perfect. But we're just going to use the short, like the 5 panel one here, just to show you. They're going to go into a hand. Do you want to? Yeah, that's okay. Can you both fit? It's pretty long. So they're going to go into a handstand. Now they've got to get up onto that stack. So that already takes a lot of shoulder strength. They're going to get to the wall. They're going to use that drill we just did at the wall. Come off, shoulder shrug, and then pop off. Their hands should lift off the mat before their feet hit the floor. Did you hurt your feet? Let's put them back here. Okay, we're going to take the stack to the side, guys, and put it over there so they can see it a little bit better. Perfect. So this exercise is pretty advanced. I want to just Molly it. I'm used to where you're going to hit the roof. Okay, here we go. So she's going to do her handstand. She's going to hit 12 o'clock first and slowly go to the wall. She's going to use that shoulder strength. She's going to shoulder shrug, pop off, and come up to here. The further away from the mat is what we want. We don't want them landing close to that stack because that's going to be a piking back handspring. We don't want the pike. So I'm just going to show you with her. So she's going to come off. She's going to drop her shoulders at the last minute, drop her shoulder shrug, then hit hollow, get your head in line, and then off as far as she can. So again, those shoulder shrugs that you know from level 4 in acrobatic arts all the way up, so key at the wall. So girls, just fire up a few shoulder shrugs just to remind teachers about this important handstand skill. I'm just assuming you're all doing these because they're in the syllabus. So, but let's just do a few because this is really important. This is a good check. If they don't have a very good shoulder shrug, they've got to stick to that before definitely doing the one off the stack. So they've got to have lots of range of motion. The only thing touching, remember, is the tops of our toes. And we're in a nice straight handstand, okay? So down, up, just using this and making sure that the tops of the toes are on the wall. Okay, that's a really good kind of like a test to see if they're got the upper body strength. That's a great one to do. Okay, so make sure you incorporate those shoulder shrugs in all your classes. And most definitely, once they're at that level, for that straight handstand at the wall, level 4 and up. Okay, that is my little drills in a nutshell. Of course, working the round off is essential as well, but we're not talking about round offs. That will be another future mini, I'm sure, coming up. Thank you so much, Acrobatic Arts, for having me. Thank you so much to my demonstrators for getting up early and missing school today to come. And I will, I was going to add one more thing. The back handspring doesn't come into our syllabus until level 8, standing back handspring. If you start working on these in level 8, you're going to have some very scared, not ready dancers. So starting with these little basic drills all the way from primary and all the way up is really important. So just incorporating them into your strength section of your class and your warm up. You'll see, then you won't have those 13, 14-year-olds that are scared, really scared, and that happens. So get them when they're young. Okay, back to you, Carolyn. That's my tip.
Jill, Molly, Sophie, awesome stuff. As usual, Jill, just chock-a-block, great content and value. I'm just putting it back to the community who's watching. We've got great attendance, just to see if anybody has any specific questions. I know you covered so much, but just like anything, like you said, progressions are everything, starting with these progressions early on, and building the drills, I should say, so that when they get to that place in the syllabus that they can manage it. If people are interested, and they're not already, module 1 is a great place to build these fundamentals for yourself as a teacher. You can find more information on that at acrobaticarts.com under our training programs. Lots coming this summer. We're back on tour in North America and in Europe. So check out the listings there for in-person. I know are you hosting, Jill, in Edmonton, Alberta? Yep. Okay. So this summer. So Jill did mention the aerial and back handspring workshop. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have M1. It's in July, it's M1 and then aerial back handspring and then an M2 right after. Right. So yeah.
Lots of opportunity there to dive in. And so there is a question from Z Alvarez. Once a dancer has their back limber, can they start working on back handsprings? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, the back limber takes some strength, but mostly flexibility. So as long as they have that shoulder strength, it's having that really strong handstand and the shoulder blocking to be able to do it. But yes. That does help. The back Arabian, for those that are listening, is the back handspring with no jump. So it's a completely different skill. It has like the straight legs coming over, which is part of it, but it's totally different setup. Yeah. Okay. So Z has another question. So they're typing. So you and I will hold down the fort here. There'll probably be a bit of a delay because we're at probably about 5 seconds ahead what they're getting on Facebook. But so like you said, you can keep the equipment fairly solid. You've got stacks, you've got mats, don't need big crash pads. You could, if you've got them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having a crash pad is nice if you can lay it up to get that sit and the jump back, because that's the part the dancers really, you see a lot of back handsprings on stage that are really short, and that's sort of the dancer way. So it's like you just sit, your sit is wrong and you're not getting that jump back. So having that crash pad is good. You can also fold up a cheese mat. I've done that before. If you have a cheese and you stack it up, that will maybe be another session. I can show you more hacks with a cheese mat, using a cheese, not just as an incline, but as a square. I've done that same drill and it's been successful. So
right, we'll hold you to it. Okay, here's the question. Z has a student who's doing back handsprings and they keep bending their arms. Any suggestions on what Z can do to help work on this?
Get them to stop. Pop the handstand pop drill is really great because it gets them using their shoulders. It's because they're not accessing their shoulders, they're using their elbows to do the work. So shoulder shrugs at the wall, handstand pops and plank, the ones we did today, lots of push-ups. It's the shoulder strength that they're lacking for sure if they're having to bend their elbows. Now, there might be a slight micro bend I know one of our master teachers of acrobatic arts, her student is a master tumbler, and she has a micro bend, which isn't terrible. So, but it just depends. If they're bending like this, that's a problem. If they're bending like that, it can be okay.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
That's great. And so I think we're going to wrap it up here. Lots and lots of great value, tips, and ideas. Thank you so much to Molly and Sophie for being amazing demonstrators and sacrificing your school time. Make some noise, otherwise it'll keep the camera on me. We'll let you take a bow.
Take a bow. Awesome. Okay.
Great job. All right. Well, thank you, Jill. Thank you, teachers, for being here. I put some links in the comments for you about our Module 1 course, our aerial and back handspring course. If you would like more information about acrobatic arts teacher training certification, we have a number of courses coming your way online or in person. Our summer training tours are ramping up. Spots are going fast. This is your time. Visit acrobaticarts.com for more and visit us next week. Join us next week, actually, when we'll be back chatting with Loren Dermody with top acro skills for preschoolers. Join us again next week. Thank you, everybody. See you again. Thanks, Jill, Molly, Sophie. See you again. Bye.